Our first artifact was actually acquired only about 5.5 years ago.
Okay.
It was in November of '09, but we did buy a gentleman's collection of 10,000 items that he had been collecting for 30 years.
Okay.
So, but ourself, it actually started about 5.5 years ago.
So what are some of the artifacts that you began to take some interest in as you wanted to? You mentioned there was a collection that you had arranged to obtain, and now you're collecting your own. What were you looking for?
Well, when we started, we had nothing, so we were looking for everything. The idea was to have a museum to celebrate this book, and so when we first got started, we were buying a lot rapidly, and it got noticed in that world, and it's a small world. But now with over 40,000 items in our collection, we're able to be much more selective. We have a good collection. We have a lot of items. There are some items that would be nice to have, and there are some interesting items that are becoming available, and who knows what might be discovered down the road. The thought that kind of chills me is, God had the Dead Sea Scrolls protected until he was ready for them to be discovered, and I wonder what he has left for us to discover.
That's amazing.
And we'll have a great place to show whatever that is that God may provide.
So you obviously in the arts and crafts store, Christian bookstore business, what was the motivation to get into accumulating biblical artifacts and of course sharing those with other people?
Well, as I've indicated, my father grew up in a Christian home. My mother grew up in a Christian home, and they took us to church and were taught a love for the Bible. My brother has a Christian bookstore, Mardell, and he had made a comment a time or two about it'd be interesting to put in a Bible museum. And we had some others that were interested in doing that, and kind of got us on that path as we started our collection. And as that collection grew, the family just really sensed that the responsibility to make sure that the story of this book was told in a very first-class way, and be able to impact as many people as we can. And we actually were looking in 3 different cities: Dallas, New York City, and Washington, D.C., and a survey indicated to be most attended in D.C., so we decided we'd settle on D.C., and that's where our building is under construction today, and we're excited about it opening. We're looking at in the year 2017 before it actually gets open.
Wow.